Hey there, Chill fans. This is Jason with Planco and Chill coming today with a great new video. We're gonna do the mountain bound, I think is the proper word for it. That's the name I came up with. We're coming in today as a peep. I'm gonna show you a little bit of a preview of the ride, and then we're gonna get right into the building time lapse. I'm gonna explain a little bit about the process. There's that blinking block up to the upper right corner, and we're gonna go over here and just check it out first. And like I said, we're gonna go into the time lapse and we'll do a little bit of a POV at the end with some cinematics. So here we are across from the bathrooms. Now we did this bathroom area in another video. We're gonna ignore the big brown object way in the distance over there because you shouldn't know about that yet. And we're gonna have a look at this. This is Mountain Bound. It's a nice simple train ride. It has a nice family atmosphere to it. It's very slow, very gentle. It has its own kind of area, so it's totally enclosed by a pathway. But here we're gonna get right into the building of it. So I stuck with a brick foundation. I think a brick foundation is about the most representative of this kind of general time frame we're going for, of like a 90s theme park. Probably built in the 80s and the 70s, you know, that's probably when it got started. And what we're representing here, if you're new to the channel, what we're representing here is Agathas Funland, which is a fictional place I made up quite a few videos ago. Agatha Willow was this rich lady that owned an amusement park. It's a really cool concept. You can go back through and watch videos and stuff. There's plenty of them on my page that will go into details about it all. But this would be the park that she actually owned at one time. So we're building that now in Planet Coaster 2. Thank heavens you cannot hear the things I cut out of my audio. Had quite a frog in my throat there. I had to get it all worked out. So here we are, just moving forward more and more with the building. I feel out objects, I look around for objects, and roofs is probably one of my biggest Achilles heels in this game. But I think I nailed it with this roof. I really like this. This is the Viking tiled roof. And even without recoloring it, because I know you can color this two different colors. There's nice 2 slots of color. And here you'll see me make a complete Rubik's Cube out of this roof. Spoiler alert, this doesn't stay this way. I simply cannot make it work, and I got distracted by a number of shiny objects there. And then that's when I realized I can put overhang, which is something that, again, if you've watched the channel for a while, you'll know I've struggled with, is overhang. But I think I'm finally starting to get into it. I think I finally kind of get it. You have to have some of your roof go down past the wall, otherwise the water runs down the wall. It's simple. You know, I won't call it physics. Is that physics? Engineering? It's simple logic. There we go. Here I put on a flat roof, and I'm convinced even to this day, even watching this footage and the voiceover, that roof sticks out way too far, but it is there. So, and I'll just put in some final last bits of trim here and maybe straighten this end out a little bit and try to get some, I think the end cap on here. And it'll be time to move on to other things with the area. There's a lot to do in this area. There's a lot of buildup that has to occur to kind of make you immersed in the ride. And here's a great addition. So this is something that I really wanted to point out, that it would have definitely had one of these tower type things. And to my absolute annoyance and dismay, I realized there is no immediately obvious bell in Planet Coaster 2. Why? Someone will have wanted to make a bell tower. I'm sure of it. And that's where we are now. So you'll see me search in vain for a bell. And at one point I even get frustrated, and you'll notice I wrote write the word thing or something, or item. There it is, item. And then I kind of got into animatronics. I nearly put this guy in, the musical hammer statues. I thought it'd be a really cool effect. I didn't want to have to stretch the room taller. I feel like I already spent enough time up here. And I was so annoyed with the lack of a bell that I just sort of started clicking objects and looking for what was going to work. And luckily I settled on what I think in the end feels like a real winner, to be honest. And I think you'll agree with that. We're going to see it here momentarily. It's going to appear. There's a little bit of a hint of it there. And then here we go. This is when I started looking at these statues. I thought about a rune, maybe make it kind of a rune lore in the park. And then this magical moment happened. For just a moment, we almost went Roman or Greek. And then all of a sudden, boom. The concrete Mrs. Float or Queen Float, or I forget her exact title. But it's I think that's actually King Coaster with a floaty on. But you get the picture, right? It's a nice homage to Planet Coaster 2. And then I tasted nearly every window in the game. Almost. I only skipped the obviously aquatic based ones. But I went through so many windows until I found the one that I've used several times, which I love. And yeah. And here I went with a snap point and I thought, nope. So I just manually moved it around to where it felt good. Realized there was need of a door here. Nice easy installation, same with this side. And then now it was time for, I believe, a little bit of interior movement or exterior movement and alignment. And then, you know, we'll get into ground paint. I will search in vain for a rock. And then I think you'll like the solution I have for the pathway as it comes out the door there. I think in the end I settled where I needed to on it. But yeah, if you're someone that's followed me for a while, you know I really love terrain paint. I spoke its praises in a couple videos recently, and I really do enjoy terrain paint. I think it adds so much life with so little effort on the game's part. Like it's not going to render hard. It's not going to bog you down if there's too much of it. It's just the color of the groundwork, and I really, really enjoy it. There I struggle in vain for a rock, and ADHD, man, I just went ahead and flipped to a different item to place because I don't like to dwell on the things that just aren't working. A little bit more eccentric ground cover. Over the next few weeks, I'll probably, as I play in the game, naturally poke around and put more and more ground cover down all throughout this area. And I think that adds a lot of life to the area. It adds a lot of depth. And fun thing here, this bush that you see is going to get moved a multitude of times. See if you can track how many it is. And if you can, drop into the comments and let me know how many. We'll play a little fun comment game there. Tell me how many times you see it move, because it's annoying and it's more than you think. And then we're going to texture out this nice rocky area and just give it a good, nice polish. You also see on here, you'll see snap points. Haven't talked about it much. I did talk about it on the Channel 5 Discord a little bit, but snap points annoy me because I followed the Channel 5 video about the make your own money, the introduction to snap kits. And I love the concept, and I clearly can do them, and I know how they work. And I cannot for the life of me get that add to scenery button to appear, or whatever it is, add, you know, that you have to get to make the snap activate. And it doesn't matter if it's toggled on or off. It doesn't matter if I have other things going on. Like, it doesn't matter. I've tried it standing on my head. I've tried it with a cat standing on my head, and neither way, any of those ways has worked at all. So if you have any more solutions, my cats are always up for it. Go ahead and let me know. Go ahead and let me know, please. And then I completely forgot about deleting one of them, so it just trails along like a broken leg, and I don't even notice it. Unlike a broken leg, which I definitely would notice pretty much right away. And then the game had I had terrain painted these rocks on, if you remember, back in like episode 2, and the game had not rotated them in a pleasable way at all, and I'm way too lazy to go poking through the menu and find another rock, so I just sort of went for it. I mean, an angled rock is way more interesting than just plopping down a rock, right? And then these pauses that you see as I go through this next part are actually me grabbing pizza, and they're trimmed shorter because there's times when they run for like 5 minutes, because, you know, you're eating pizza and drinking soda and playing a game, and you have to use the restroom every now and then, you know, and that's the pauses. That's the pauses. You can actually tell the pizza pauses because they're a little bit shorter, and then I kind of get right back into it because I play with my right hand, but the pizza is like right here, so I just pick it up every now and eat it. So you'll see little micro pauses, but we're sped up to 4x, So you might not even notice them at all, but it's just a cool little Easter egg if you want to pick it up. It was Domino's, by the way. It was Domino's Pizza. So if they want to sponsor me, hey, go ahead. Yep, and just go ahead and put in a staffing path here and make it interesting. I realize the way I have built it, a guest could probably walk through there. And you know, it's bad. Guessing it getting hit by a train, unless you're Disney, then it's bad. That's a fun little fact for you guys. I think Fort Wilderness, when it originally had a train running around the whole thing, there were incidents, we'll call them. I've never really gathered all the facts, so for all I know, they're just like stories, and they were a cautionary thing to remove the train. But there is no longer a train. There's still railroad tracks you can find, and there's tons of really awesome YouTube videos where they actually go into like finding the tracks and talking about the train. And it's pretty neat, because as big of a thing as Disney is, and even they left railroad tracks behind, so it really makes you wonder about railroad tracks in general, why they always seem to be left behind. And there we go. I think that the next part kind of illustrates why I suck really badly at the terrain brush, the one that adds the terrain paint, like not terrain paint, but like foliage and stuff. Is I create it, I start going through there, I start adjusting. I love the way I set this tree up, and then what happens is I click on another object and I simply can't add it, and the menu just disappears. And then I hit save as new instead of save changes, and then I just decide to go with it. Now, fun story here coming up. As I go in and remove these, I pay extremely diligent attention to removing these trees, especially where the branches could hit you when you ride. And that's because one of the fans of the channel, Tim, who has his own YouTube channel, by the way, Tim's Coloring Corner, which you should definitely check out. Tim actually complained once that, and it was such in a flabbergasted way, like, oh my gosh, is there really a tree branch hitting you in the face? On my super duper looper ride with a Viper, which is at Pixie Park. You have to go way back in my channel. That was my first park I ever did on my channel. So Tim complained, he was so flabbergasted, and I thought, oh my gosh, I bet other people who haven't said anything are so annoyed when a branch hits them during a ride. So I go through very carefully, and I search, and I think about Tim when I do it. I search for tree branches hitting you in the face. Real quick thing, that long pause was trimmed. That was like the 5-minute pause. I don't know what I was doing there, but I suspect it had something to do with another room. And there we have it. We're gonna give a ride on this little gem of a ride. We're gonna walk around the line here like a guest. And I know you can hear this girl laughing right now, and it is so annoying. But I left it in there just for the funsies. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this wonderful POV. And when we come to the cinematics, we'll check out some other things. See that the ride is short and sweet and to the point. It is definitely a ride I would really enjoy. This past summer we went to a number of theme parks in the Northeast, and one of them had a little train like that, which was just so fun, and adults and kids enjoyed it. So that's everything for the video. The video that popped up on the screen, or is going to pop up on the screen, is something you should check out. It is, I believe, the first video in this entire series, so you can kind of go enjoy that and just, you know, trail your way through the videos. This park is coming along great. I do have a suggestion from, I believe it was Comet, to change the roof, which is on my right hand side over here. And there's going to be a whole bunch of buildings across the street here, which I may or may not do a video on. I think from now I'm going to kind of do interspersed build time lapses with more walk routes like this from Peep Cam. This is actually a peep I jumped right into, and then I started heading off in the direction of this motor coach that has a really nice black void of a door that we just are drifting closer and closer to. So before we go, run to the comments real fast and let me know what you liked in this video. I'm Planco and Chill, checking out.